What's going on, y'all? I'm happy to see y'all again. Hope y'all ready for this episode. We go online a little bit. I feel like the first four episodes, this is episode 5 of the Liquid Courage podcast. If you are new to the podcast, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe because y'all know that helps me grow. If y'all know anything about the YouTube, if you on Kick, say what's up, say something in the chat. Um, I feel like the first four episodes I've been a little bit uptight, and by a little bit I said a lot. I've been going back watching episodes, and I've been uptight. So we're gonna unwind a little bit because, to be honest, how can I call this podcast Liquid Courage if I'm uptight and all stiff and shit? I'm just like I'm trying to make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing. We do. We unwind, we relax a little bit, we unzip the hoodie, and we get into it and we talk about what we need to talk about. If y'all don't know, it's your boy Hodge, aka Hodge's episodes if you on YouTube, but usually or Hajster on Kick. I usually just go by Hodge just to keep it simple, short, and sweet. Um, I'm Hodge. I'm the host, co-host, founder, everything. The hands on deck, the editor, everything. All of the Liquid Courage podcast shit is all me. If you would like to get on the podcast, if you would like to be a guest, I have no problem. Come up with guests. We'll sit down. We'll come up with topics. Hit me up. Easiest way to hit me up, probably in the DMs on Twitter. Um, Also on Discord. My name is Hajster on Discord, and it's the same logo that I use for everything. So it should not be too hard to find me. With that being said, we got some good topics today. You already know. Typically here we cover the Eagles first because that's a fan base that we passionate about, and then everything else comes second. Moving forward, Eagles gonna have to get fall in fucking line. That's my squad, that's my team, but they gonna have to show us that they are worth talking about right now. But we gonna talk about all types of shit here. We not just Eagles fans, we're gamers, we're black, of course, we're streamers, we do all this shit. Go Bears. Um, okay. I feel bad for y'all. As always, y'all can see the pinned messages. Hashtag Courage Corner if you have a question. I will get to the Courage Corner section towards the end of the podcast and I will 100% answer the question. Or if it's a topic, something that you want to discuss, make sure you use hashtag Courage Corner in the chat and I will get to it. I also, other things with me being live, like I want to get through my topics as freely as possible. So I will answer the questions when I can. Hashtag Courage Corner. That's when I will get to the questions. With that being said, the truth of the matter is the only way you can have the liquid courage, we got to stay true to the name. We're gonna take a little shoddy. This is, I mean, y'all can too. 21 plus. 18 plus if you in the EU or somewhere else. So this is just some Costco vodka, I'm pretty sure. And it's just a shot. It ain't that much. One of the Costco crown. Yeah, if there is, before we get into everything, if there is, a particular drink y'all would prefer me to try before every episode, I'm down for that. We only gonna do one shot, so it's all good. I'm willing to try. Also, if there is somebody out there who's making their own liquor and y'all want me to try it out before the stream, we can talk about it. Have this little entry segment right here to talk about it. Look, holla at your boy. But with with that being said, let's get into it and let's start it off right. That liquid courage. Mm. Woo. Woo. I don't drink like that, and definitely not no vodka. Whew. All right, we good. Let's start with our first topic. So Thursday, pretty sure that was Thursday. Thursday, I woke up, typical day, getting the kiddo ready for school, getting ready for work, yada, yada, yada. Every morning, I drive to work. I mean, I don't drive to work. I work remote, duh. But I'm driving to get the kiddo to school. I'm listening to the podcast as I'm driving. It helps me get my day started. And my phone just fucking stops working completely. I'm like, yo, what is going on? I know the phone bill's paid. Like, I know I have signal. What's going on? I look down at my phone and I see a fat ass SOS sign on it. So I'm like, what the? I'm like, what is going on? Like, did somebody hit like a tower in my area? Whatever, yada, yada, yada. So I dropped the kiddo off at school, come back, right? I look at my phone. I just happen, right? I go to where media is at, right? The first place you go is Twitter because they'll know anything. Go to Twitter. I see people clowning like, "Oh, if you got AT&T, I feel bad for you right now," and yada yada yada. Like everybody's just going off on AT&T. So then I click the trending part and it says AT&T down. Then I type in some shit on Google real quick. I'm like AT&T down. That's the first thing that comes up. As soon as you type in A, it goes TT down. That's the first thing I saw. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? So then I go to Twitter, click on it again, click the trending section. It literally says it's out pretty much everywhere in the US. AT&T is just down. But I'm thinking, I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense because this morning when I started listening to my podcast, like I didn't have any issues because my internet was fine. So, but understanding, of course, that like some people had issues with their internet, it just wasn't me. Okay, so that if I would have woke up and nothing was working, then my antennas would have turned on. Like, what the hell is going on? So apparently, from 4 o'clock in the morning all the way until about 4 o'clock in the evening, AT&T was just completely down. Like couldn't use a phone. You could literally only use your phone via Wi-Fi. It was pretty much a iPod Touch at that point, right? Shout out to y'all if y'all remember what the iPod Touch is. If you don't, hey, get in tune. It was goated. It was goated. Podcasts were fine, but the signal was out until noon. Yeah, so my phone signal, like my 5G, was completely out. Why if it connected to Wi-Fi, it was fine, but it was just basically it was just a glorified iPod Touch with a better camera. Is what it is. I'm glad they got it back up. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure everybody, if they really wanted to, they can reach out for a discount. Um, my problem with all of it is not that it went down. It was very odd. They didn't want to say what happened, what caused it to go down. They're still saying, "Oh, it was a solar flare that happened that made it go down." Why didn't everybody else shit go down? Why did only AT&T go down? I guess that poses another question. AT&T, is your structure as well built as you thought? Because Verizon's didn't go down like that. Some of it went down in some places, but not like AT&T. AT&T was just out for everybody. It was not like that everywhere else. So I'm trying to figure out how the hell that happened. I don't even want to get into the conspiracy theories. People are talking about the aliens and Russian cyber attacks and um, just all the different type of look. I don't know what happened. I don't really care. I'm just glad that the service is back up. My phone's working. I'm just glad that everything is working the way it's supposed to. And shame on AT&T for that whack ass statement y'all put out, talking about it's basically it's just out for everyone. Thanks for your patience. We need more than that. We need to be much more transparent as to what the fuck went on. Like we pay a lot of money for phones. And I'm not just saying me, I'm not just saying people in this chat. I'm just saying like in general, people pay a lot of money to make sure that their phones are working properly. So if something goes wrong that's nationwide, that's a big fucking deal. Y'all need to speak about it. And more than, hey, thanks for your patience. If it was a solar flare, just say it was a fucking solar flare that messed it up. Although, side note, if it was a solar flare, that would have been dope. Like if that what if that was our introduction, like as the world as humans to like otherworldly people who are like strong as fuck. Um yeah, like how Like how, like imagine if someone who was like Dragon Ball Z, right? And that was like our introduction. You just see somebody with a big ass shiny forehead, like solar flare. Like that would have been crazy. That would have been cool. I would have still been mad, but that would have been cool. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying. Before we get into the next topic, let's see. Nah, forget that. People are paying at minimum 60 months. How is that not enough? They get billions of dollars a month. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. That's what I'm saying. Like we pay, like I know personally, um, so there's four people on our plan, and we pay about 250 ish a month. So we pay about it's total, we pay about 250 ish a month. And that's just the four phones. That's not including our internet, which is look, I'm gonna pay for my internet. I don't care. I need that, and I need the top tier. I need the high speed. I need all that. So yeah, but you are right with that. Like they make a lot of money for us to get that whack ass statement like that. They make way too much money off of us per month. To the point where a phone and internet is 100% a necessity, and for us to get the whack ass statement that we got, basically like, hey, look, we'll fix it when we can. Fuck y'all. We like that was corny. Let's pivot with that. Let's pivot off of AT&T. I just wanted to get that little rant off real quick. Let's pivot from that to the NBA. Let's talk about the NBA really quick. I've been watching a lot more of the NBA. Like I don't know why. It's just normally at this point of the season, all the teams starting to get into their grooves and their fits, and it's the last pretty much 30 games of the season. Some less for other teams, and getting back into the swing of things. And now the games actually matter because playoff positioning. Are you going to the playoffs? Are you not going to the playoffs? The teams that usually look like the championship team kind of rounded into form right now. Um, so I think that it looks like the Heat are turning it around. It looks like it's time for it ain't it's just time for everybody. It's just time for everybody to kind of turn it up a little bit. Even look like the Warriors are getting better. And I didn't think that would happen. They're gonna get Chris Paul back, I think, next week. So that'll be a good addition for them. I don't think it's enough. The Lakers, you already know. We talk about LeBron here. Um, I don't know what the Lakers are going to look like in the next couple weeks. I hope that they do well, but they're not good. I don't know what else to say. Those niggas is not good, yo. They are not good right now. Some days they're good, and then some days they're just terrible. And it's like they play good against good teams, and then they teams they should just beat, they just don't. Like, and it's weird. Or the games are too close, and it's just like, all right, cool. I don't get it. But now a team I do want to talk about is the Phoenix Suns. They look like they're rounding the shape. They look really good. I personally think that the Clippers look the best in the West right now, as much as that pains me to fucking say. The Clippers look the best in the NBA right now. I don't think that if you take the two number one seeds and you put them up against each other, or say if you take the teams that look the best right now. So if you take Boston and you take um, the Clippers, if you take them and match them up against each other, I think the Clippers win that shit like convincingly. I just don't think that Boston is just ready. I don't. They haven't shown that. Yeah, I don't know. I think that I don't think either one of those teams are going to make it to the NBA Finals. As crazy as that sounds, they look the best, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't believe in either one of those teams. They got to show me. They got to show me. As far as the Lakers go, I'm glad Bleop you are in the chat right now because there is a standing bet. Not even a bet. It's something that you impose because I don't gamble. But there's something that you impose. You said if the Lakers make it further than the Heat do in the playoffs, you will buy me a Lakers jersey. Um, Stand on that. We're gonna remember that. And I'm saying it here for documented proof that it happened. That's true. The Celtics are the ultimate show me team. They definitely are. And for that matter, I want to say the Celtics are the ultimate show me team. Um, not that I like, hey, y'all gotta show me. I want to see what the Timberwolves do, not because of Anthony Edwards, not because of Anthony Edwards at all. I believe in Anthony Edwards. I might even go as far to say is I'm a fan of Anthony Edwards, aka Jordan's grandson. He's not really Jordan's grandson, but he do kind of look like that nigga, and he kind of play like him too. Um, I don't know. Like I don't believe in Big Cat. Like as soon as the playoffs get here, he fouls out. He act like he can't score. He forgets that he's 7 foot tall. Like there's a lot of things that just happen to Big Cat in the playoffs, and for them to go as far as they need to go, Big Cat needs to be Big Cat instead of a little pussy cat. Respectfully. Oh man, that's so funny. Well, sorry, I got sidetracked. The Phoenix Suns, KD, he pulled a fan to the side. He pretty much just checked the fan, which I don't know why y'all keep fucking with KD. The man keep telling y'all he's going to respond to all the bullshit, and y'all keep bothering him. And I don't understand why y'all keep messing with the man. He's clearly showed y'all like he had a burner Twitter account where he was responding to people. Then y'all found out he had the burner. He was just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm responding to everybody. So if he was responding on the internet when he really don't got time to be on the internet, you think he not gonna say nothing in person? Like, come on now. But anyway, he was at the Dallas game, and there was a group of fans who were damn near courtside, were pretty much heckling him. And they said that he called. Some people say he said like something like racial, but then it came out that they called him a bitch. They was like, "KD, you a bitch." So if y'all know, KD don't take kindly to that word, and a lot of people don't, because like first of all, like don't be calling people nothing that you can't stand on. Here's the thing: KD heard him say it. He go up to him to basically make him stand on it. Like, hey, I'm a bitch. Like, stand on it. The two dudes was like, hey, like, look, like we just saying something. We just trying to get a rise out of you. Yada yada yada. I got a podcast I'm promoting. KD walks away. Boom. He was like, all right, I'm out of here. But he fell for the trap, right? Because the dude literally was trying to get his 15 minutes of fame to jump off his podcast. Because what happens if KD calls him a bitch and throws him out of the game? He goes on there, edits the video, chops it up, and says, "Look, I'm the dude who called KD a bitch and he threw me out, so really a bitch." Right? So. Shout out to KD for not throwing him out the game because he would have gave them the fuel that they wanted. Um, but the reality is, right? I'm doing a podcast too, and why the fuck would you want to get your 15 minutes of fame off of doing something stupid that you're not going to be able to retain? What you going to do after that? Are you going to go try to sneak into like one of LeBron's games and call him a bitch? Are you going to then what do you do after that? Like, are you going to go to Golden State, call Steph a bitch? Like, Steph ain't even going to respond. Then what are you going to do after that? Are you then going to go to when Michael Jordan's out and you're going to go to one of his private booths? Are you going to call him a bitch? Like that train like gets you nowhere. Are you like that literally gets you nowhere? You're just gonna be known as the crazy fan who calls people a bitch and nobody's gonna want to care. Um that's literally like you're not gonna get anywhere. You're not gonna do anything. Like it's just corny. Like for anybody who thinks that that's how you're gonna blow up, like stop. Like nobody gives a fuck. You're gonna be talked about for a couple minutes. If we even say your name, we don't even know that dude's name. Like he did all that talking and we never even heard his name. We never heard like, oh, it was so and so. You were just the dude that Katie. So you went from the dude who was trying to promote his podcast to Dallas Mavericks fan. How many Dallas Mavericks fans are there? There's probably like a million Dallas Mavericks fans, and you just one of them now who just happened to sit courtside. Nobody cares about you, bro. Like stop. Like let's relax a little bit. Fans, y'all need to calm down as a whole. I'm a fan. Heckling is cool as long as it's like in game. If you saying somebody suck, cool. You saying, oh, you can't shoot, cool. If you saying you trash, cool, right? But what's not okay is calling somebody a bitch calling somebody out of their name, saying something racist, saying something just derogatory in general. Like, keep it in game, right? Keep it in game. Same way when we play video games, and like when people go too far when they're talking trash of video games, like, don't take it too far. Because the reality is that the thing you don't understand is that what you might at the most, like, what an average human male is like 5'10", 5'11". Maybe that dude might have been looking at the video, that dude might have been like 6'2". Tall for a regular human, short for an NBA player. The man KD is 7 foot tall. Now, if he wanted to make you stand on something and he would have slapped you or he would have punched you, what would you do then? You don't win that fight. You don't win. You don't come out of that. You don't come out of that. There's no world where you come out of that tripping, doing too much. Like, y'all need to stop trying to. Y'all need to stop trying to pick fights with NBA players. It's not gonna go well. Trust me, not even trust me. Like, I got to a fight with an NBA player, but like those, I like look, and I never turned down a fade. I never turned down a fade. But the one thing I'm not gonna do is try to scrap with an NBA player. Like, come on, bro. Like, let's be real. Like, come on, bro. Knock it off. Let's see. Yeah, you can't even reach him to fight back. That's a fact. Fighting with Slender Man, literally. The man got reach probably taller. Like, his arms is probably longer than that dude's whole body. You wanna talk shit? Um, like, just stop. Just stop. If you think you're gonna get clout off of these NBA players, it's not gonna happen. It's just like, and it's different, but it's similar, right? The NBA chicks, the chicks who try to leech on the NBA players and kind of get they come up. Yeah, you get the money, maybe, but then what? Like, we don't care. Like, we don't care about you. You were just a chick who dated an NBA player, and then you go get another one, and then you get another. Like, bro, we don't care. Respectfully, let's talk about the playoff push again. I know we kind of touched on it a little bit. Um, I think that the playoff standings as they look right now on the East and the West will look completely different when it's over. I think some teams are going to move up. I think some teams are going to come down. The West is tough. There's a lot of good teams that are coming out the West. Mm, so we'll see. We'll see. The playoffs are like literally right around the corner. So we'll see what's going on real soon. Predictions for myself personally, I have the um I have the Lakers winning around. I have the Golden State getting in the playoffs but losing. I don't think the Lakers will win more than one round. I have in the East, I have the Celtics winning around depending on who they match up with. If they match up with the Heat, then I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. But if they match up with anybody else, I think they can beat anybody else. I think the Celtics will get, unfortunately, the Joel Embiid is not there to speak for himself as far as in terms of his game. I don't think he should come back this year. Like, just get ready for next year. Like, don't rush it. Like, just don't rush it. I know you're playing like top. Like, he won the MVP last year and he's playing better. Like, that's insane to even think about. He won the MVP last year, and then this year he followed it up and he's playing better. But I don't want him to come back half-ass healthy. Like, either you 100% or just don't play. So we'll see what the Bucks do. I think the Bucks will win a round no matter who they play. I just don't think that Doc Rivers makes the proper adjustments to push a team forward. I'm just being honest, as it's been shown. Blowing 3-1 leads, 3-2 leads, winning up being up 2-0. Like, he doesn't make adjustments. And the longer the series goes, the worse it is for him. Yo, and by the way, right? Doc Rivers, you are a yo. I know we talked about last episode with Doc being a dirty Mac. Yo, but now we find out like all the information, like it's getting worse and worse for you, bro. Like, for real, for real. Like, it's really getting worse and worse for him. So we found out, right, that he was the advisor, which I thought that was common knowledge, right? I thought everybody knew. If you were an NBA fan, thought everybody knew Doc Rivers was the advisor for the Milwaukee Bucks. Cool. whatever. But you should not be able to get that job if you're the advisor. It just looks bad for you and dirty macking at the highest order for sure. Right? Then we find out that he says, "Oh, look, I don't want the job. I can't believe I'm in this position, but I'm gonna take the money." Like, what? Why? Like, does he not understand that he could have just said no? He could have said no, one. So it just looks terrible for him because he's just dirty macking all around. It looks terrible for him. He he takes that the job after saying and then goes publicly on TV and says, "I can't believe I'm in this position," but with his raspy ass voice, "I can't believe I'm in this position." Like, bro, shut up. You took that job. You knew you wanted the job. You probably wanted that job, but you didn't think it was yours to take. So you're like, "Look, I'm gonna be an advisor." And then you step back and you're like, "Well, it ain't looking good." Which Dame and Giannis probably didn't like Adrian Griffin, which I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll find out probably when the season's over for sure. But um why it went the way it did, and then now Doc's like underperforming. Like they're terrible. Like they don't look good. Um, I want to see more pick and rolls between Dame and Giannis. I thought that was going to be unstoppable. They don't do it. Um, just fucking do it. Like just do it. Do what it takes to win. Um, Pat Bev, he grabbed a clipboard. Like, Doc, why are you letting this man? He just got here. And if I was Giannis or Dame, I would have slapped that shit out of his hand. Soon as Pat Bev would have got, I would have bow. Fuck out of here, bro. You just got here. Who are you? Who are you to try to tell us what to do? Fuck out of here. Yeah, that's just how I feel about it, man. I'm just sick of Doc Rivers. As somebody who lived in Wisconsin, I feel bad for Milwaukee Bucks fans because y'all gonna get disappointed this year because Doc is gonna let y'all down. Remember, I said that. Um, just like the Celtics were the show me team, Doc Rivers is a show me coach. Show me that you can out coach and out adjust these other coaches that you got to get through in the East to win an NBA championship. That's that's how I feel about that. Other than that, Doc Rivers, you kind of corny. I'm not gonna lie, that was corny. And you a dirty Mac, and we've already seen that you a dirty Mac for sure. And you backdoor Ty Lue. You want to get traded to the Clippers, like you just be backdooring dirty Mac. Yeah, they out in round two. I have zero reason. Yeah, and it's not because of the players. I think the Dame Giannis combo should work a lot better than it has. Um, just because their games I feel like are so complementary to each other. It's just that I don't think the coaching is right. I don't think Doc Rivers even knows how to coach Dame. Like think about it, right? Doc has never coached a point guard who can score and shoot the way Dame can. He's normally has like floor generals. He's normally like he has a wing player that can score. That's the big score, or like with the KG, like somebody who can score the way that KG can score, but not somebody like Dame who can score from he has the ridiculous amount of range, and that doesn't make sense. Maybe it doesn't make sense to Doc. Maybe it doesn't compute to him. I don't know, but my headset just died, but it don't really matter. I don't even use it right now. Oh, the Zodiac energy is off with them. Yeah, I see that. That's funny. I look. I'm not even gonna get into that. That's another time for another day. On to the next topic. The NCAA. You motherfuckers. And I laugh because I'm actually like kind of upset. And I'm just mind boggled by the NCAA because they just find new ways to try to get over on people. If y'all don't know, the NCAA is coming out with a video game, the NCAA football game, which is hype. I'm excited because we haven't had one since 2013, which is the 2014 version of the game, right? They are offering the players that are in the game. So it's about 11,000 players because they have all these colleges that are in the game. They are offering the players $600 and a copy of the game to have their name, image, and likeness in the game. I'm gonna say it again. Not $6,000, $600. So let me for 11,000 players, right? For their name, image, and likeness to be in the game. As if y'all don't know, if y'all don't want to do the math, it's about $6.6 million that they're basically saying, hey, we think that this is a good number to this is a good number to give to somebody, to give to the squad, to give some reference and some context, right? In 2014, I think games were still $50. 2013, 2014. NCAA football made about $80 million off of the game compared to the 6.6 they're trying to give away now. That was before things are crazy how they are now. I mean not NBA players, NCAA players 80 mil. The game is going to come out. It's going to be $70 cuz it's an EA game. Let's be real. It's going to be $70. I guarantee you that game is going to sell crazy because if y'all don't know, there is a super huge NCAA community who keep up with the game, mod the game, keep the game current, who literally, so they're going to take NCAA 2014, all of those people who are still playing that game, they're going to play it. Then you have the new fans who are going to pick it up because they've been wanting to play this game that they've heard about. Then you'll have, on top of that, you're going to have just new people who are going to be excited to play a new game in general, on top of, your fans, right? You're going to have people who are fans of um for like me, like I did not watch college football. I'm going to be honest, I barely watched college football until the day Deion Sanders decided that he wanted to coach in college football, right? Now he goes from Jackson State, then he goes to Colorado, and it's the hottest shit on TV. He has his first two games were some of the most watched games in NCAA history. Do you not think that a lot of those people are going to buy the game? Of course they are. I can guarantee you that when it's all said and done, that game will probably generate over $100 million. And you mean to tell me that out of $100 million, only 6 million of it is going to go to the players and a copy of the game? Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all couldn't do 10. Y'all couldn't do 20. I'm not saying do half the 100 mil. Not 50-50 because you got to pay the devs and all that stuff, and I think they deserve credit for working on the game. But you can't. I think they can come up higher on that because, as we know, the NCAA is like one of the greatest. If you want to talk about some finessers, the NCAA, they're finessers. They've made millions and billions of dollars off of college kids and their name, image, and likeness. But then you tell them, hey, we can't pay you. Then NIL money comes up, and then they're like, oh yeah, well that's good enough. What about the kids who can't get NIL money? Because the reality is that, like, usually NIL money goes to those higher touted players. But what about the players who come out that are good? You mean to tell me that the 3-star crew who then goes to a college and has a really good career, $600 fucking dollars? What the fuck is that enough to buy in today's age? Textbooks. I don't know if some of y'all have ever been to college. Textbooks. Some textbooks are legitimately like $500. Some, not all. There are classes that legitimately textbooks are two, three, $400. So if you got multiple books that are $200 a piece, and you have 6 classes, that's some money for 3 books. Now, if you want to do it, here's what I think they should do. I think they should do a revenue split. If they should do a revenue split, maybe like, I think 30% and divide that amongst the players. I think that'll be fair. I even think that all players shouldn't be weighted the same, to be honest. Now, if there's a team that's like smaller school D1, there's no reason that person should be getting the same money as like, a Shadur Sanders. Like Shador is like one of the like or even Marvin Harrison Jr. or you put Caleb Williams in a game, even though he's going to the draft. Like there's all these like I'm just throwing out names of these top name college players who shouldn't be getting paid the same amount as somebody who's barely just made the D1 team and they just out there because the school's small. Like I don't think that that's fair. So I definitely think that they could come up off some more money for sure. I definitely think they can come up off the money and like what the fuck? $600. Oh man. Let's see. Courage Corner. What if that's all they had left over because they didn't think about it? What do you mean? Uh, what if that's all they had left over because they didn't think about it? Mm, actually, that's a good question. If they didn't think about it, then shame on them. Like that's crazy. If they did this whole thing and then we're like, oh shit, what about the players? I got you. That they didn't even think about it for budgeting for the players. I wouldn't be surprised. That's actually really terrible. That's really fucked up. But it is. We have to realize the company that we're dealing with, EA. So if they can penny pinch, they can. I think the players should be like, nah, we're not doing that, and just negotiate for more money. Or there needs to even be like a college union of some sort where college players get together like a NCAA players committee where just former players, former college players get together and they talk about and are able to leverage, negotiate these types of deals because the NCAA is still the wild wild west and like these owners of these programs get to do whatever they want essentially. So I don't know. I don't know. Another hope for me. I hope. Of course, I don't think this is going to be the case, but I would genuinely hope that they would come out with just one NCAA game, and after they come out with the game, they just do updates for it. That would be nice. That would be nice, but I don't think that's going to happen again because it's the EA sports franchise, and based off what they do with Madden, they're going to pretty much say, "Hey, here's a game. It's $70, and you're gonna have to buy it every year at the end of the year." Even though we already know the game's going to be successful, it's going to sell a lot of copies, especially on the front end. And then as the season goes on, people will buy it more and more and more and more as the year goes on. And then once you get to the college football playoff, they're going to buy more. And yeah. And especially if I'm not gonna lie, if you put one of the top if you put Shador on the cover, I guarantee you it's gonna sell. Put Shador on there doing like that'll sell. I don't think they'll do it. They're gonna put some. They're probably gonna put some generic person on the cover, just a generic college athlete with the jerseys on the cover. But if they would have put Shador on there, I'm telling you, the game's gonna sell. That's just my 2 cents on that. That's just how I feel about that. Mm, I don't think 600 is enough. I don't think 600 is close to enough. But when you try to leverage in the sense of, um, oh, well, we have to pay all of these players. We can't pay some. Okay, well, then up the money that you're going to divide and then have revenue splits in percentages. But then again, that comes with the only way you can negotiate that is if you have an agent. And every college player doesn't have an agent because, everyone's not everyone doesn't have aspirations to go to the NFL. Some people will be like, "Hey, look, I'm gonna go play at this D1 school because I can get my college paid for free." And they know that they actually want to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, you know? So, whatever. On to the next topic. Let's talk about remakes a little bit. This is going to be really a short segment, but remakes as a whole, I think, are sloppy, lazy. And the reason why I bring up remakes because I'm thinking about all the games that have come out recently and just how fresh and innovative they were. Like Power World, like that was just a fun ass game, right? Transitioning to video games and media now, where I think we're off the sports now. Yeah, we're off sports. But transitioning to media, the gaming world, the gaming space, gaming is just so fresh right now. You have like Power World, you got Hell Riders, you have um like there's games that escape me, but like there's just so many games that are coming out now that are fresh, new, fun. That we're like, yo, these games are so fun. And then we have games that come out and they decide to do remakes, and they're like sloppy remakes, right? I challenge gaming studios, make something new, make something different, take the challenge. If you're gonna do a remake, remake the game. Don't half-ass remake it, completely remake the game. Examples of remakes done right. Final Fantasy VII. That is an incredible remake. Incredible remake. What a great remake. Um, Examples of a bad remake. Pokemon. Shining. Ooh, excuse me. Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Those are two of the worst remakes I've ever seen in my life. I'm respectfully. You wanna know why? Because they literally just slapped the game and just made it the same style. Fuck out of here. Nobody wants that. I just as a gamer, someone who loves the game, who streams games, plays games, all that shit, man. Like, let's do better. Let's do better. If you want to remake a game, remake the game. Don't just sloppily throw it together and be lazy. Be lazy about it. That goes for remakes in video game space and in the movie space. Like, if a movie came out 5 years ago, I don't want to see a remake 5 years later. Like, come on, bro. Like, let's stop. Like, let's not. Um, I don't even want to see it reimagined in a movie, retold. Like, get out of here. Like, please. Like, let's knock that off. On to the next topic. New media. I guess it's hard for me, right? Am I new media? Yeah? Question mark? I would say so. Not in the sense of that like I was like a former professional athlete and I'm speaking my piece more so than I'm new media. I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm gonna speak how I feel. I'm not gonna always worry about being politically correct. All like we're not gonna be disrespectful towards anybody, but we're gonna speak our mind and speak how we feel. I love this new version of media. The way that we get the news out, the way that news is expressed, explored by people, they tell it in their own way, right? Old media, examples of old media, the news. Although the news is cool, it's helpful. The news is biased. Let's be honest, right? The news and it's a little long and drawn out. Whereas you turn on TV, news stations up, they're telling you what's going on in a from a biased standpoint, and on top of that, it takes them too long to get to the point. Whereas now, I can, if something's going on, I can click on a trending tag on Twitter, or I can go to YouTube and look at my favorite content creator and look at how they um express it. Now, is the bias there because everybody has a little bit of their own bias? Yeah, sure, but I can if I have multiple people that I watch, I can get multiple different perspectives on the exact same topic. I think that's awesome. I think that's something that we should keep going. I love it. I love it. That's the truth. I'm gonna be real. I love it. Some of my favorite podcasts that I watch are like just so polar opposite, but they're things that I love to watch. I love um It Is What It Is with Mason Cam. I love it because it taps into a different thing for me, right? Because they're unapologetically themselves and I love it. Um they do well, they keep it real. They have different perspectives. They'll have like a Mark Jackson come on there and then Cam would be like, "Oh, so basically what you saying is this," and he says it to people who can understand it from where he's from people who are like I'm from, right? That can relate to those types of things. I think that that's dope. I even like that, like they throw shots at each other. Now, I don't know if we're gonna be throwing shade or shots at other media on this channel, but I have seen that other companies, other media platforms, they are literally like if somebody has a problem with something that somebody said, they are throwing shots, they're throwing shade at each other, they're going back and forth. Sometimes it gets a little messy, but I love it because it's people being real, people being genuine. Think like, if somebody has something to say, they're like, look, this is how I felt. I didn't like what you said, and it's the opportunity for, as black people or as just humans in general, for us to go and take our time to go clear it up after the fact. But I do like the, hey, look, this person said something about me, I didn't like that, here's my response. Now it's up to them to go behind the scenes and work hard to go clear it up, or take the steps beforehand to clear it up. But I don't mind, you know this new version of media where people are just like throwing love and they throw love and they throw shots at each other, because everybody's in this space and everybody's trying to compete to be the number one person in this space. But that's okay, right? Competition is good. It keeps the topics flowing, it keeps it fresh, it keeps it innovative for everybody. That's just my piece on that. Now, let's as we round out our night on this Liquid Courage podcast, I do want to throw some love to pretty much all the avenues that I deal with on a daily basis, right? So we talked about the sports. I love sports. We talked about um the NBA, sports, NCAA, et cetera, et cetera. Then we talked about the gaming. Now we're talking about, the media platform. We're talking about, all these different podcasts and these different media outlets getting out, their points of view whenever they want to. And I think it's a good point to talk a little bit about streamers, right? I'll be a little disingenuous if I didn't talk about streamers. Because I mean, if nothing else, I'm a streamer, right? And I can speak about this because I'm not gonna say where I work and where I've streamed and all those things. If you know, you know. If you don't know, do a little bit of research and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find out. It's not that hard to figure it out. I say all that to say that streamers, we need to do better as a collective, um, supporting each other, showing love to each other, because the reality is if everybody, show love, support each other, we would be a lot better off as a group and a platform. I'm just being honest. Where people understand that, right? People who are rich and famous, oh, I just got a big raid. Thank you, Cytrix, for the raid. All raiders coming in, welcome, welcome. This is Hodge. You are actually walking in towards the latter half of the Liquid Courage podcast. Cytrix, I hope you had a great stream, brother. I really do. Um, yeah, we're talking about right now. Actually, it's a perfect segment for people to hop in. We're talking about streamers and us doing better as a collective as streamers and protecting our space, right? So, streamers, they don't truly understand the impact that we can actually have as streamers. Um, there's a few that get it, right? But there's a lot who truly don't. But there are rich people who understand what goes on here and they're trying to take a slice of our pie before we even realize that the pie is even made, right? Example, we have rich, famous athletes entertainers, rappers who have made plenty of money, and then they decide, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a streamer now. And then they come in, and then people flock to them and go to their space, and they literally come in and make a ton of money off of streaming. They're not consistent. They don't work as hard in the streaming space. I'm not saying they don't work hard, but they don't work hard in the streaming space as we do. And they come in, they take the money, they get the money, they leave, then they come back when they feel like it. But we're so quick to support them, but not support our upping. I don't want to say small streamers. I don't want to say small content creators. We're up and coming content creators. We need to support each other, whether that's taking the time to pull somebody's stream up and not really say much. Just throw an emoji in there, letting them know that you're there. Just to help their algorithm. Going to their YouTube videos, liking, subscribing, throwing a comment on it. Watched first. Something like that. All these little things that literally help each other grow, help the algorithm grow. We could do that, but we don't. We argue, we fight with each other, we try to steal from each other, we try to cheat, we try to backdoor each other, we try to do all these things that are so foul to one another. We do all of that just to say, oh man, I wish I was doing more, right? But we can do more. I promise y'all, we can do more. Support is 100% free. We have to do better. We got to do better to protect this space, the streaming space, right? Speaking of the streaming space, Kick Incentive Program, right? It's awesome. You have to average 100 viewers. You have to have 25, I'm pretty sure 25 subs averaging a month, with 100 concurrent viewers with, of course, some active chatters. Let's talk a little bit about unique chatters, right? Because there's this misconception in the streaming space that you have to talk in somebody's chat, and that's not true. I have streamed, again, I've streamed on a pretty big reputable platform, where there's been hundreds of people in the chat, and there's like, out of 350 people, guess how many people actually talk and respond? Probably 10. That might sound crazy, but that's the truth. In a chat where I know there's not view botters, in a chat that I know because they have to respond if we're doing a giveaway. Now, if we're doing a giveaway or something like that, that is completely different. Then everybody in the chat's talking. But under other circumstances, guess what? The chat does not talk. The chat does not move like that unless they feel compelled to do so. Or if they just have time, if they're younger, if they're not at work yet, if they're on a different time zone where their work commitments are different than yours, then they'll talk. But they don't have to. And if somebody is lurking, or just like, that's we call it lurkers, if they're just in your chat and they're not talking yet, that is okay. Like, maybe they're not ready to talk. Maybe they're just there to support you and just make sure that your numbers look beautiful when you are on your way to your goals. That is totally fine. Who cares? Support. If you're an aspiring content creator, support. If you want support, and if you're down to supporting, man, just get up with me. I will help you get what you need to help be a part of something or a group of people who actually want to support each other. So let's change the narrative on that. Let's just change the narrative all the way around with all of this shit. Because we have to. We have to. The King Incentive Program is awesome, right? But it really averages, it only pays you about $16 per hour with a cap of, I think it's 40 hours a week. I think the cap is 40 hours a week, and you have to be live streaming, active talking. So it comes out to about $35,000 a year, salary wise, which is not, especially now, is not a ton of money. Especially, it's definitely not enough money for you to, quit your job over or anything like that. But that's on the expectation that by the time you're getting those 100 viewers, you should have the, on top of that, at least in my head, this is how I think about it. You should have the community and the viewer base on top of your kick incentive program, so your subs, donations, all that stuff. And if you have sponsorships, that stuff should help balance out the 35K, and it'll put you at about 55, which isn't like, it's decent money, but it's not like life-changing money, right? But if you're coming from nothing, it's more than you had before. But it's a start, right? It's a really great start to getting what we need as content creators and supporting ourselves, supporting each other, etc. We, to get that, like, we could all get it. We could all eat off of it, but it just takes for all of us to just do it together. Yeah. Making money is a streaming is a making money to stream is a W regardless. That is true. Nothing made me happier when I streamed on Twitch. When I streamed on Twitch, I got my first payout from Twitch. It was $100. I was so happy. It was 100. I was like, damn, I finally felt validated from what I'm doing. And like, the reality is, streaming is a front heavy cost, which benefits if you put in the work, it'll pay off later, right? So like, I'm about, in total for my streaming equipment, in total probably about three. So if I include my PC, PS5, Xbox, my Nintendo Switch, the monitors, the light, the camera, all that, probably about 4 G's in. And I haven't really seen any money come back off of it yet, which is fine. You know, it's a front end, but guess what? Now the podcast is low maintenance. I already have everything, so now I don't have to pay to get more stuff. Even though I'm about to get a new mic soon, but because again, my shit broke. But that's okay. That's all good. That's something I don't mind doing. Um, yeah, you balance it. You balance it. Your 9 to 5. You know, and I'm telling you, it's gonna pay off. But we gotta work together as streamers. We got to. That's the only way. That's the only way we can eat off this shit and really turn it into something. Like, streaming hasn't even, like, I would even go to say that streaming hasn't even scratched the surface to what we as a group can actually be. But it just takes for people to work together. The problem is people don't want to work together. That shit gotta change. You also have a kick-ass computer that can do everything you want. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I work hard to have the things that I have. So, um, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, my computer's sick. I'm very grateful for everything that I can do on my computer. And our last topic of the day, real quick, Trump and these damn shoes. So if y'all don't know, Trump came out with a pair of sneakers, and they're gold with the American flag on the side. I don't even know what they're priced at, but they exist. Let me look real quick. Can I see? Let's see. Let's look. So there are 1,000 pairs, and they're $400 a piece. I'm gonna keep it a buck. All right, I'm about to kind of go off a little bit. First of all, them shoes ugly as fuck. Yo, those shoes ugly as hell. Look, I'm not even good. Yo, but that's the thing, right? So there's only 1,000 of them, and he's selling them at $400 a piece. Those shoes are ugly, and they look like something an old person would wear. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not big on getting into people's politics and what they decide to do, who they decide to vote for. I don't really care. But like someone on CNN literally just said, "Hey, Trump sold shoes to black people because they know black people love shoes." That's the extent to what the thought process was with that. Like, oh, basically niggas love shoes, so here. But guess what though? The people who buy shoes that are only 1,000 pair, I'm gonna give y'all a secret. When they're a limited release like that with only 1,000 pair, yeah, I'm gonna give y'all a secret on who buys those shoes. They're not black. There might be a few, but for the most part, like $400. Not when they can get a pair. I guarantee you, if a pair of retro fours came out, retro four Jordans came out on the same day, or any pair of the retro Jordans came out on the same day as that shoe, niggas not buying that shoe. I'm gonna just be honest. They're gonna buy the Jordan. One, because even though Jordans are more expensive than they used to be, they're still about a little less than half the price. No, they're a little more than half. A little more than half the price. And there's only 1,000 pair. So, so I seen that. Yeah, Trump is grifting money because he owes half a bill. I see, and my thing is that's bad marketing then, because then why wouldn't you just lower the price and then make it more disposable to the public? So instead of only selling 1,000 pair limited release, why don't you just come out with a mass production at 250? I bet you everybody would buy it then. That ugly ass shoe. I can't wait to see somebody in that shoe just so I can laugh. I ain't gonna do nothing to him. I'm just gonna laugh. That shoe ugly as shit. It looks like a Walmart shoe. Respectfully, respect to people who wear Walmart shoes. It's fine, but like if you're a sneakerhead, like it looks like a Walmart shoe. It looks like it looks like an off-brand Sketcher. And if y'all know, Skechers aren't top tier shoes, so it's still cheaper than the big baller brand shoes. Facts. You know what I mean? Different shoes I would buy before I buy. I would buy a pair of Kyrie's again from Anta before I buy it. There's so many different shoes I would buy before I buy Donald Trump outside of political beliefs. I'm not even gonna get into politics on here. We're not even gonna talk about the politics side of it. But what I will say is that them shoes are ugly as fuck. But yeah, man. Let me see. That's all I got as far as topics go. Let me see. Is there any last second questions, comments, concerns, things y'all want to talk about? Oh, I got something I could talk to y'all about before we bounce. So today, before this podcast, I went out to go get food. Um, get the wifey some food. And y'all, like some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know, she's pregnant, and she has these crazy ass cravings that like I just have to just get right, or she'll like literally, because she's so emotional, she might even cry. So if she can hear this, look, I'm sorry, but your ass be crying, and she's pouty and all that shit. So I just get it, right, because I love her and I want to make sure she's good. But that's what you do, right? So today I went to get some spring rolls, like the avocado spring rolls from a Vietnamese restaurant that's around the corner from me. And she likes Thai tea. That's what she loves drinking, like Thai milk tea. She loves that shit. I go to get it, and I'm going up the street. I'm going up the street, and there's a lot of people out. It's Saturday. So to give context where I live, I'm not telling y'all exactly where I live, but there's less than within 2 minutes of me. There's the mall, and then there's the main street, which is a strip where all the food and stuff is at. So all of the shopping districts, everything is it within a less than 5 minute ecosystem from where I live. I do not live in Atlanta. Um, and so I'm going up the street to go up. Go up the street. It's a busy street. Someone is trying to cross. So we're on the street going this way. There's somebody trying to turn and get into the traffic that we're in. So instead of this dumbass just waiting or just saying, look, I'm gonna just go this way and go a different direction, because literally you can get to everything if you just go around and just go a different direction, right? It's not like it's just one way you can get to everything. That's not true. This dumbass decides, so this is a 2 lane. So we're in the 2 lanes here. So instead of trying to like turn and go this way, he takes the lane that's coming in the opposite direction, turns in this lane, goes up the street to try to beat everybody to get to the turn. So guess what fucking happens? The cars that are turning, mind you, we're here. The cars that are turning to come this way, where he's in the lane that he shouldn't be in, guess what? Pow! Car crash. Like how and then here's the crazy part about all of that. After he did that, he was upset that the car hit him. You're in the wrong lane. Nobody's expecting to be turning and seeing a car that's not supposed to be coming towards him coming towards him. He was mad. He was like, well, why didn't you just stop it? I don't really understand. Bruh, because you were in the wrong lane. So now, because you didn't want to wait, you literally held up traffic for an hour because you were dumb. Then I'm gonna give y'all another part. So behind me, so there's another lady who's trying to turn in behind me. So this person was right in trying to mad because he couldn't get in here right in front of me. Then the lady who's behind him literally turns in behind me, and she forced herself in between me and this truck. Because and the dude's just like, you know what, fuck it, just go. So, but now here's the catch, right? Remember, there's a car accident right here. So everybody who's trying to turn in this 2 turn lane turning towards us is they literally have to transition to 1 lane without getting into an accident, because there's an accident right here in front of them. Now behind them, so she's trying to turn and she's in 1 lane. She's literally in 1 lane, blocking it off, and she's trying to squeeze herself through and and she couldn't fit yet because we couldn't move. So now you got these cars, there's an accident here, and there's potentially about to be one right behind me because this dumb lady don't want to wait. Here's what I say. I say all of that to say, if you got somewhere to be, make sure you got the fucking time to be there. That's what I'll say. I'm not saying don't drive fast, because I drive fast. Trust me. When I'm going to Chicago, look, it say 2 hours. I'll just get in there in about an hour and a half. That's what I'm going to say. We cuts time around here, but that's okay. But if it did take 2 hours, I'll definitely make sure that I have the time set for the 2 hours allotted. I even give myself 2:15 just in case something happens, traffic jam, because Chicago, the reality is Chicago traffic is crazy. I'm just saying. Take y'all time. Take your time. If you don't got time to get there, that means you probably don't need to go. Because getting into an accident is not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the hassle. It's just not worth the headache. Take your time, etc., etc. Everybody think they're the main character. That's the truth. Everyone does. Everyone thinks they're the main character. And sometimes you just got to realize you're an NPC. That's the truth. I mean, sometimes I'm an NPC. Sometimes. But sometimes I'm the main character. But times when I'm not the main character, when I'm driving, I'm not the main character when I'm driving. I'm not the star of the show. That's driving is one of those times where you have to kind of fall in line and commit. You have to kind of just be a part of. You have to be a part of the group. You have to follow what the traffic is doing. So sometimes you got to be NPC. That's the truth. Got to be an NPC. When you're at stores, sometimes you got to be a little bit of an NPC. Because some people think that their money and the money they're about to spend is more important than what somebody else is about to spend. So they think that, they should be able to skip lines, or, oh, I'm about to spend this much money, or like, There's times like that when people need to be a little bit more NPC-ish. Times when I'm not the NPC when I'm streaming. I'm not the NPC. I don't even like to talk like this, but I mean, we in our bags, right? We talking our shit. We're letting it loose. We're in liquid courage. When I'm in my stream, obviously, I'm the main fucking character. When on YouTube, I will be the main fucking character. I will be one of the main characters on YouTube when it's all said and done. That's the type of passion that I have about this shit. I will be the main character. When it's, I mean, but you know, to other people, they might see me as an NPC. Some people don't even know about the YouTube world and that they exist. Whatever. I don't care. I don't really care. But with that being said, that's all I got from me. I need to have like an outro, like a little cool little outro segment where I say something catchy or something like that. But I'm out. That's the end of the podcast. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share this on other platforms. If y'all already liked, if y'all already commented, if y'all already subscribed, appreciate y'all. Shout out to y'all. I will see y'all next time. And the last thing that I want to add, fuck them ugly ass Trump shoes. Get the fuck up out of here. Those shoes ugly as hell, bro. I appreciate y'all. I'm about to